Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Devil's Den Hockey. We came off a miserable game in our last video, but tonight the Devils take on the Detroit Red Wings, one of the hottest teams in the Eastern Conference and one of the hottest teams in the NHL, bar none. The Red Wings finally getting what feels like the culmination of so many years of rebuilding, but they come to Prudential Center and they get told no. Devils win 4-3 in regulation against the Detroit Red Wings. So let's break down this game. The first and second period, I'm not going to talk too much about, because I really want to get into this third period, because it was a wild end to this game. So let's talk about it. First period, really not much to say. Nason gets a nice little shot from the point. Timo Meier's in front of the net, being the power forward that we all know that he can be, and he gets his stick on it, tips it in, and it's 1-0 Devils. However, in very much Devils fashion, or what feels like Devils fashion, within 2 minutes of us scoring a 1-0 goal, the Detroit Red Wings end up tying the game, and it's 1-1. Now, here's the thing. Timo Meier gets another goal, so his goal streak continues, which is great, because everyone's been saying, where is Timo Meier? Where is Timo Meier? Where is Timo Meier? Myself included. And you know what? Seeing him actually be able to score goals in, like, a consistent fashion is good, especially given the fact that Jack Hughes is out right now. Jack Hughes is injured. We need every guy on this team to step it the hell up immediately. But the good thing is he's not the only Devil to step things up. Nico Hischier, he gets another goal. So Meier and Hischier must be on some sort of new workout program, some sort of new diet, whatever it is, because back-to-back games, we have Timo Meier goals and Nico Hischier goal, which is fantastic. But hey, they're not the only ones to score in this game. Cody Glass returns to the NHL lineup after being hurt, after being injured twice in a span of like 22 games. Okay? He comes back and he gets a goal. Connor Brown, who's been a little bit quiet as of late, but again, you're playing the third line, so my expectations for what the third and the fourth should do is going to be a little bit lower than the first and the second line. But Connor Brown scores a goal, and the Devils are lighting it up. But it feels like the Red Wings are right there in it with the Devils the entire time. They're in it to win it. The Red Wings did something that you don't see a lot of teams do, which is they're down, they are going to fight you for every inch of ice that they can get their hands on, and they do. They keep pushing the Devils. It's 1-1, it's 1-0, it's 1-1, it's 2-1, it's 3-1, it's 3-2, it's 4-2, it's 4-3, and the Red Wings didn't stop playing. They didn't stop fighting until the end. And you know what? The Devils should take note of tonight's game, because the Red Wings, I think, played a much better game than the Devils did tonight. And I understand. The Devils won, and that's all that matters. We got the 2 points. Devils, why can't you just take the win? Why can't I just take the win? Because it is important to highlight where the Devils go wrong. It's great that Meier scored. I'm happy to see that. I'm glad to see Nico Hischier starting to come out of the cocoon and become the beautiful butterfly we all know that he can be, right? We saw Cody Glass score and Connor Brown score. We're seeing the depth scoring, and all of this is great. But there's still work to be done. As far as I'm concerned, the Red Wings had over 30 shots on net tonight. Markstrom finishes the game with an over 900 save percentage, which is great. Tonight was a huge confidence game for Markstrom. He's been really struggling as of late, and I think he played really friggin' well, including that third period, which was an absolute, like, we don't know how to close a game down, New Jersey Devils. Markstrom, especially in that third period, played out of his mind. And as far as I'm concerned, is the only reason the Devils were able to come out of the win with it being only 4-3 Devils. He played great tonight. And again, I don't want to take away from the efforts of Glass, of Brown, of Meier, of Hischier, who all got goals tonight. And they were great goals. They were good goals. They were the Devils playing how the Devils should play. But Markstrom was the real difference maker here. And in my opinion, Markstrom, you get first star of the game from me. Absolutely. I know you let in 3 goals, but if you go back and you watch those goals, they're not really Markstrom's fault. I don't know how you blame Markstrom for the defense not being able to step up and do their jobs. That sort of thing. The defense. I am really not impressed with Luke Hughes right now. I'm really not. I think he has had a couple of games now where he has not looked good, where they're so focused. The Devils right now, I think what happened is the Devils were seeing a pattern where they weren't scoring nearly as much. So you had guys like Nemeth and Luke Hughes stepping up to the plate to try to generate some offense. The problem is when you're a defenseman, even if you're an offensive defenseman, your number one priority in the game is defending. It's not scoring goals. And it's not to say that if they do score goals, it's not to say that it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just that if you're a defenseman, your priority should always be to defend. And so when the Devils are having this issue with scoring, you got these young guys that want to step up to the plate and show the initiative, which is good. But it's leading to a lot of times them pinching or being caught up ice or turning a puck over at the blue line and having a breakaway. I mean, how many breakaways have we seen over the last 4 or 5 games for the opposing team because our defense keep getting caught getting pinched because they want to contribute in meaningful offensive ways, which again isn't a bad thing, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. But Luke Hughes specifically, I don't know how many times we're going to watch a video or we're going to watch a replay of a goal where Markstrom makes the initial save, there's a scramble in front of the net, and Luke Hughes is off to the side, waiting here by the side of the net, waiting for the puck to come out, and he just keeps getting beat by somebody else, and they just tap it in, or they just pop it in on a rebound after Markstrom's already made a couple of great saves, and everyone else is grinding and scrimmaging for the puck to get it out. And Luke Hughes, I feel like a couple of times now, has been caught on the side, not wanting to jump in there, but is there to clear it, and then he just gets beat to the puck. I don't know what's going on, but Luke, I'm not impressed. Last couple of games, in my opinion, Luke hasn't done great. If you disagree, tell me about it. I'm sure people will. So let's talk about that third period, specifically the last 5 to 7 minutes of that third period, because I want to talk about this. I don't know if you guys can tell, I am psyched to talk about this third period. That last half of the last quarter to last half of that third period. So it all starts with Jonas Siegenthaler being a complete asshole. And I'm sorry, I know that this is a Devils channel. I know that we're all just supposed to blindly support the Devils, but when you're an asshole like Siegenthaler is, I'm going to call you out for it. I'm sorry. So Lucas Raymond is skating pretty close to Jonas Siegenthaler. He doesn't have the puck. The play is to the left of them. You've got the Devils and the Red Wings flying up the left-hand side into the Red Wings defensive zone, into their defensive zone. And Jonas Siegenthaler, for some reason, for absolutely no reason that I can see, walks up to him and drops him on his ass, gets it with the shoulder to hip area, and just drives himself into Raymond, for as far as I'm concerned, for no reason whatsoever, and drops him. It is one of the most blatant interference calls I have ever seen in my life. And I get it that this game was scrappy. This game was in your face, take no shit kind of hockey game. And it was an exciting game. It was a fast game. You're up by a single goal, and you want to pull this shit? It's not suspendable. It's not dirty. It's just completely and utterly unnecessary to just drop a guy for no reason. It doesn't make any sense. And for some reason, the refs are doing their best impression of the three blind mice while the refereeing here. And Siegenthaler gets away with it, which I thought was insane. I was like, bro, that is as blatant of a penalty as I've ever seen one. Siegenthaler might as well have, like, shoved him to the ground and then, like, given him a kick for good measure. Like, it's so blatantly a call, it's not even debatable at this point, right? He never has the puck, he never even touches it, and he drops him anyways. And so the Detroit Red Wings are losing their shit, rightfully so, for this non-call. And so we move into the last, I would say, 2.5 to 3 minutes of the game. The Red Wings having lost an opportunity. And by the way, remember, this is a one-goal game. The score is 4-3 when this happens, okay? And, like, the Red Wings pull the goalie with about 2.5 minutes left, 2.5 minutes left of the game. They could have had a 2-minute power play from the Siegenthaler interference to an additional 6-on-5 with them pulling the empty. They could have had a power play for 4 minutes. So I totally get why the Red Wings were so furious, were so pissed off. However, I will say this, because I am a Devils fan, so I am going to say this. Biased or unbiased, you can tell me later. The end of the game, the Devils win 4-3. And as the game comes to a close, what feels like 2 or 3 Red Wings decide to jump the Devils after the game is already finished, and there is a giant scrum. You've got Raymond and Siegenthaler going in one corner. You've got Hischier fighting a guy in another area. Hell, even Jacob Markstrom wanted in on this. And you can see this one Red Wing guy, like, his arms around Markstrom, like, come on, Dad, we gotta go this way. And Markstrom's like, nah, none of this is gonna be acceptable. And the entire game was really like this, where every single time the whistle blew, the Red Wings decided to be baby-backed bitches and, like, try to start a conflict for what felt like no reason. And don't get me wrong, that last scrum with Siegenthaler and Raymond, I totally, 100% think it's justified for Raymond to take shit to Siegenthaler. Absolutely! Because if you're not going to do it, nobody is going to. But I'm sorry, you can't keep jumping people every time something goes wrong. Because if the whistle's going to go and the ref's not going to call a thing, that's just the way it is. Now, you can take it up with the ref. You can yell at him, you can scream at him, you can throw a stick, chuck a helmet down a hallway. I don't care. But at the end of the day, if a ref isn't going to call something, they're not going to call something. Now, I still get why Raymond is furious, but if the game is over and you jump a guy, then the Devils have every right to beat the living shit out of you at the end of the game. They're totally within their rights, so long as it's, like, clean. When I'm talking about, like, beating the shit out of a guy, I mean, like, put him up, right hook, left hook, uppercut. I'm not talking about anything dirty or anything crazy, but, like, yeah, if you're gonna jump a guy at the end of the game, he's not just gonna stand there and take it, okay? He's gonna respond with equal to or more force to prevent you from going after him. That's just the way it is. Overall, it was a great game. It was a really good game. Refs, you could tell from the beginning by the first period that the refs were trying to keep their whistles in their pockets. First period, first couple of minutes, there were a couple of calls right away. After that, it really felt like the refs were trying to keep their whistles in their pocket and just let the game play. There was several times where it felt like 5 or 6 minutes, 7 minutes would go by without the whistle being blown for even things like offsides or icing. It was a really fun game. You have the Devils and the Red Wings, 2 of the best teams in the Eastern Conference right now. Outside of, like, the Islanders and Carolina. It was a really entertaining game. I had a ton of fun watching it, and that third period was so much fun to watch. Crazy. And again, if you're a Red Wings fan and you're watching this, I totally get feeling like you got screwed because you absolutely did on the Siegenthaler hit. You absolutely got screwed. You guys could have had a 4-minute power play, and that could have changed the entire complexion of that end of the third period. So I totally get it. But again, if you're going to jump a guy at the end of the game, no matter how justified you might feel, you're going to get the shit kicked out of you. That's just the way it works, unfortunately. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the game in the comments down below. And, yeah, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. I had a great time. Take it easy, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Adios.